Hey everybody, and welcome back to Let's Play Sunless C. Now, it's been a few days since I last recorded, so let's see if I can still remember how this works, to the extent that I ever understood this game in the first place. First, apologies for skipping over most of the, not all, but most of the little reaction text that we got for turning on the various items to the scholar last time. I don't know, I guess that the unexpectedly huge amount of money we got for the treasure must have just distracted me so much, and I could only look at the rewards afterwards. And yeah, sorry about that. I did read all of those off camera, and I suppose while looking at my previous video, and yeah, I guess we had seen a couple of those before, but yeah, that was silly. What else? Shops, shipyard. Well, I looked at options available, and well, it definitely looks like what makes the most sense to upgrade to is the Corvette. I mean, that's just a straight upgrade, except for also getting heavier, which might or might not. Well, maybe it makes it slower. Maybe it increases fuel consumption. Maybe both of those things. Maybe neither. I don't know. Surely weight must have some sort of effect. So presumably, if nothing else, we'll be slower unless we also install a better engine. But other than that, this is just a straight upgrade. It does give us a forward compartment, which we currently lack. A lot more hull, of course. Well, same hold capacity, I suppose. It's not exactly a trading ship. More crew quarters, and it even gives us a bit of an iron bonus. This Lampet class cutter actually reduces almost everything. I guess the benefit is that it's more maneuverable. Well, yeah, it is a lot more lightweight. So I guess if you're okay with being a lot more fragile, having a lot less crew, half the crew. So I guess the effect of that is basically that you can afford to lose a lot less crew. In the various numerous events that can cause you to do so. It does make it easier to avoid enemies. But, yeah, and at the same time makes you less powerful, so you absolutely do not want to get into combat with this one, but it might be easier to avoid combat because it's faster. So, I mean, technically, it would be an option. I don't know if it's the best option for me. I definitely would feel safer with this one. It's also, not incredibly expensive. 3,000, I mean, we're almost halfway there. Well, not quite almost, but getting there. And everything else after this, I mean, a straight-up cargo ship, sure, if you want to focus on trading, I suppose this is the way to go. By far the biggest hold capacity. It's also very slow, makes it harder to avoid enemies. And basically all of these larger ships are just harder to avoid combat with, but they're also much better at combat, so, they're literal battleships. Especially this one, of course. And they're also, well, also especially this one, extremely expensive, so not even worth considering at this time. But the Corvette is definitely something I consider just saving up for next. So I feel like that's a pretty safe thing to just upgrade to. That being said, as far as other options go, I mean, we could buy a number of different things. Lamps are interesting. We could get this kind of cheap one. I mean, 100 is really not much. But it also only increases mirrors by 1, so it's probably going to be hardly noticeable, considering we only have 62. We already have 62, so, and then, of course, most of these that give the bigger bonuses, and are also very expensive, by the way, decrease veils, which, I guess I kind of get it, sure, except that you can turn them off, right? So it doesn't really make a lot of sense, but there has to be some sort of drawback, I guess, some sort of trade-off. Except that these two most expensive options do give you some amount of extra mirrors at no downside. So if I could, obviously, I wouldn't mind having one of these, but 4,000 just for a couple extra mirrors, I'm not sure about that one. Obviously, at some point, if I find myself with just thousands and thousands of echoes lying around, sure, that might be an option, but I feel like lights right now are low priority, for sure. Engines. Now this is an interesting one. All of these just give you more engine power, which I want to say after finishing the previous recording, I did buy this one just because it's the the most powerful one that I can afford. The thing is, our current engine already has 800 engine power, so the cheapest upgrade, which is still 500, only gives us 200 more. I mean, that is an increase of 25%, but I wonder if that's really worth it, or if it's another case of where it's much better to just skip. Just get the one that's twice as expensive, but also gives us, almost twice the engine power. And I did try that, and it did seem like that made me a little bit faster, but it also seemed to burn through fuel faster. Now, that's really hard to measure, so I'm not entirely sure, but either way, the speed increase seemed kind of minimal. That might be more noticeable once I have a heavier ship, and I might find myself needing a better engine more urgently to, still be able to travel at a reasonable speed. But right now it doesn't seem like it's going to make a huge difference. And it might even cause me to burn through more fuel. Weapons, no, there is, that's the aft one. Oh, yeah, okay, they're both 900. Right, this is the forward, wait, no, okay. Yeah, right. So aft and forward weapons are pretty much always more powerful. The deck weapon which is currently our only option, is always the weakest. That being said, we could get this one. This is the best weapon we can currently use and afford for 900, which does give us more than twice the attack power we currently have. So in a way, that's the one thing that I'm maybe considering actually getting right now. But I think what I'm really gonna do is just, we could get this one. Wait, no, whichever one it was, 200. Yeah, deck weapon, right? That gives us a 50% attack power increase for 200. Still leaving us with over 1,000 gold or gold echoes, whatever. But it would be an upgrade, right? Or of course we could get the other one. I wish it was easier to see at a glance where it equips, but if that's easy to see at a glance, then I don't know. Yeah, this one, deck weapon with 15. I mean, that's hardly more than the other one, but it does cost more than twice the money. I feel like if anything, I would go for the 900 echoes one. That gives us the biggest increase, rather than go for this one, for example. Yeah, I think what I'm actually going to do though is not buy any of these things, and just save up for a better ship straight away, and then we can always start on upgrading that. Probably with a better engine first, because we're probably going to need it. But yeah, that's obviously, there's not much of a point in planning ahead that far right now, because right now we actually have we have a plan. So I think without further ado, we're just gonna start on that expedition, if I can remember how it works. But yeah, basically, let's see, lights off for now. Don't need that here in the harbor. We're just gonna head down to the canal and see what that surface is all about. What all the fuss is about. That seems, well, very intriguing, to say the very least. Yeah. Right. I guess I could pause because this pause recording, because this is not a very eventful trip. And here we are. We only had a little run-in with one of those minor crab things along the way, which I thankfully was able to kill without taking damage. I just use it to reduce a little bit hunger. Nothing major. Well, let's see. Right, I mean, I guess we're ready. Just making absolutely sure. Yes, we are. We have used up 2 units of fuel. Not entirely sure how much we had remaining in our current barrel at the time, but that's okay. Obviously we have plenty of supplies. Let us save the game with a new one, because why not? Might as well be a bit more descriptive before Surface, I guess. Just in case it turns out to be a terrible mistake. No, I mean, even if it does, I'm gonna stick with it for sure. You've come too far to not see this through to the end now. Listen for Surface gossip. Well, just in case we can use this more effectively, mouse, please. On the surface. I'm not gonna do this here. Let's go. Travel to the surface. Achievement. The Ascent of Man. The sun is dangerous to Neath dwellers like your crew, but the surface has its temptations. Ensure you're well stocked with supplies and fuel, or you may never return. Well, the coils of the earth. The engineers of the canal took advantage of existing caves and passages where they could. In ancient times, this was a passage to the underworld, they say, but still, the labor must have been staggering. The story goes that the masters of the bazaar lent their arts and allies to the task, but the surface nations play down the fact. Certainly some of the tunnels look blasted or tunneled, others look dissolved. Stone pigs, the stoker whispers. Stone pigs. Okay, Lost 9 Terror. Interesting. If anything, it would seem like this trip would be terrifying, but I guess not. I suppose it's relaxing. I guess maybe the excitement of finally seeing the surface, possibly for the first time for most of the crew, if not all of them, outweighs the terror. Right, we lose 10 fuel right away, and 1 supplies, okay. So that's almost half. Not quite half the fuel, but half the supplies that I needed in the first place. The light? It's pretty. Menaces, yearning, burning. Okay, distant bells. Oh, find a new story. So in other words, I should have used this, because I don't think you can have more than one of these, right? So I should have listened for whatever it was, rumors. Actually, you know, maximum efficiency is the name of the game here, obviously. So let's see if we actually do get another story opportunity just for traveling to the surface. Listen for surface gossip. Right, that gives us another vision of the surface, and you can have multiple of those. Right. And now we do this. Yes, a sluggish wave. The ship pitches. You'll find a story when you're next make port. Right. Okay. So the description is always different, but the effect is the same. Everything else is the same as well. Okay. You've moved to a new area. A thing has happened. Yes. Yes, indeed. Avernus. Okay. The canal emerges in the little lake called Avernus. Not to be confused with Avernum. Also, very upbeat music here. A warm breeze ruffles blue waters. You and your crew shelter like vampires from the light, especially one of us. With awnings, curtains, broad-brimmed hats, poplars, birdsong, the warmth of the Campanian sun. Okay. Fill your mirror catch box. That was the idea, I suppose. To Naples. Or return below. Okay, so interesting. Obviously, we came from fallen London, which I guess, as the name implies, used to be the non-fallen regular London, which was somehow sucked into the underground a long time ago. But we find ourselves in Italy, I guess? I mean, yeah. Campania is a region of Italy, I guess. Somewhere near Naples, presumably. Well, the very last stretch of the canal runs overland to the bay by Bacoli. Then it's an easy run down the Tyrrhenian coast into Naples. Or we could just return below immediately. Well, of course not. It's interesting that we only have, well, one option. I suppose from Naples then we could go elsewhere. But yeah, it definitely does look like the whole surface adventure is going to be completely menu-based. And, yeah. Okay. Fill your mirror catch box. Open it wide. Let it bask in the light until it's until its baffles and convolutions brim with sun. Sure. Snap it shut. The box will remain filled with light until it's opened, even underground. They do it with mirrors. Right. Right. The light, it's still pretty. Okay. So maybe this is just some sort of timer, basically, where we can only spend so much time in the sunlight before we have to return, because otherwise we're literally going to catch on fire. Well, okay. Yeah. Lost the empty box, gained a sunlight-filled box. Makes sense. Well then, let's go to Naples. The very last stretch of the canal, right. Farms and fantasies. In the vast expanse of the surface, without familiar echoes, your engine sounds strangely quiet. Your crew watches the white-walled farmhouses slip by. I could live here, one muses. Over there. Grow olives or something. Raise a family. Ooh, I come over a bit funny. Just going to sit down a moment. He collapses to the deck. His eyes roll back in his head, and a last long sighing breath goes out of him. Excuse me? The surface is restful, but your crew may die here. The longer you spend up here, the more it may die. This includes you. Okay. No explanation as to why exactly that person just died? Huh. Interesting. Well, I lost fuel and a crew. Naples, crowded streets and the sea's horizon. In Naples. Buy a train ticket to Vienna. Holy moly. Okay. Spend time ashore, purchase fuel, purchase 10 fuel for 150. Okay. It is more expensive up here, interestingly. Wait. It's not so cheap up here, far from hell. Why does this cost me crew members to do? Because I need to send someone out to do it, and... Or rather... Okay, so literally anything I do on the surface is going to cost me a crew member, because just for spending time. That's rough. I mean, it's absolutely horrible when you actually think about it, but let's just consider them a resource. Which they are, of course. As far as the game is concerned. Let's forget for a moment about the fact that they're actually people, you know. Okay. Even by night, the port of Naples is alive with shouts and laughter and work songs. The roar of engines, brick warehouses loom over the moon-dazzled bay. By day, you try to stay below decks. The sun hits like a hammer, and the wind always seems to come straight from the struggling sewers of the slums. Yeah, nice. Buy a train ticket to Vienna. Parabola linen crumbles in sunlight. The mushroom wines of the Neath are not kindly received in the wine shops of Italy and France. Prisoner's honey loses all its virtue, but in the coffee houses of Vienna, dark drop coffee is the new sensation. It's not so very far by train. You could travel by night, and thus only lose one crew member, I guess. Spend time ashore. All the urges of the flesh may be satisfied here, and when that's done, perhaps your crew will find time to pray. I mean, I don't know if I can. Can I try all of these options? The question is, can I travel elsewhere from Vienna? Maybe visit the, I don't know, crater where London used to be? Or just the, I guess, sea where part of England just sunk, you know, into the sea underneath the waves. That would be interesting. Spend time ashore, I don't know. I'm sure all of these options, well, not the purchasing options, I guess, are gonna be interesting. Share news from below. Even that is gonna cost us a crew member. That's crazy. Carry cargoes around the Mediterranean. Your ship is designed for the calmer, deadlier waters of the undersea, but she's seaworthy, just about. If you're lucky, you might turn a profit. A matter of luck. It could go either way. I mean, okay. That cost us more supplies. Good thing I brought some extra. Oh. And that cost us 10 fuel. I mean, the trip to the surface cost us 10. So what do we do if we can't afford the trip back? Is that a possibility? Oh, I wasn't paying attention to how much it cost to go back. Okay, well, first of all, we're going to save. Because thankfully, we can save up here. So that would be 16. Just to remind myself. Return, yep. Oh, wait. Along the coast at evening. Avernus, Grey Rock, and Blue Water. Yes. Lost 1 fuel. No one died. Okay, so that's a possibility, but not a certainty. Interesting. Maybe after a certain time... Okay, we do need 10 to return to the Undersea. That's crazy. And if we can't do that, yeah, you will need 10 fuel and 2 supplies to return below. If you have insufficient, you will be trapped here on the surface. It says 2 supplies, but it really is only 1. Yeah. Interesting. Trapped here on the surface, and that's just doomed to die because we can't survive up here forever. That is nuts. Well, okay. I mean, we can buy more. If we make enough of a profit through, for example, surface trading, I guess, we should be able to afford what we need. Well, let's find out how that works. Load, of course. Excuse me? Excuse me? Really? So the game does allow you to save on the surface, but it's basically like with the Visage event, where even if you save somewhere in the middle of it, it resets you back to before you started. Except that it does remember the resources we spent. So that's kind of stupid. Okay, well, I mean, it just means that I have to start over from the start. Uh-oh. Which means that I can't cheese it. I can't cheese every single action until I don't lose any crew. Which means I should definitely try to do all the luck-based things up front, if possible. Wait, but doesn't that also mean that, I mean, if the game remembers resources spent, wouldn't it also remember and save resources gained, potentially? So saving and reloading basically saved me the trip back, right? Or the cost for the trip back. That is interesting. It's very interesting. Because normally I would have needed to spend another 10 fuel. But now I'm just back here. Okay. Well, good thing I saved here. Right. Did I listen for gossip? No, I hadn't done that, but now I have. Okay. Azalea is praying. Yes, okay. But that's all still the same. What? What? Did I do the wrong thing? What is going on? Huh? What? What exactly is going on? Load game? Did the surface thing just fail to load, or am I missing something? Let's try this again, I guess. What? Oh. Interesting. I think this is more valuable. Right? Than surface gossip? I mean, I don't know. I guess it depends. This definitely seems rarer. A card game ends badly when one surface sailor knifes another for all the usual reasons. Okay, that's all this... No? Wait. No, I want to say I saw this before. The other players scrabble for the coins that spill from her pockets, but you snatch up a scrap of paper they overlook. Curious markings, dates, times, code names, spicework? Okay, we can definitely give this to either the Admiral or possibly the Unsettling Scholar. Okay. Gather information for a port report. Okay, you can actually get a second report, that kind of changes things. Okay. I guess I had never really returned to a place a second time. So you can get a new port report, which I guess makes sense, you know, a report about anything that might have happened in the meantime since your last report. Now, I guess we'll see maybe if a repeat report is worth less than the original one. Maybe not. Okay, so that is actually a way to potentially generate more income. Up to this point, I had been thinking that these were just a one-time thing for each location that you can dock. Okay. Also, you need to use some of those as crafting components, right? For, was it the Song of the Sea? Which obviously I'm never gonna do. That's just, yeah, no, I don't see myself ever reaching that point. But that required port reports from a bunch of faraway places. And I was thinking that you'd have to just hold on to them, but no, you could technically get a second one, I guess, if you turn one of them in. Okay, anyway, I am a little bit worried about what just happened because I just didn't... I think it just broke because I just literally couldn't do anything. I was just sitting here. I am going to save over this one, though. I mean, if nothing else, I can always return to my previous save file, so not a problem. Coils of the Earth. I just clicked continue, didn't I? Okay, and nothing happens. And yeah, I literally cannot do anything. It's just frozen, basically, soft locked. Right? I cannot do anything. Okay, let me just try to fix this, I guess. Okay, so returning to the title screen and reloading didn't fix the problem. I had to actually close the game and reload, but now it works. I was thinking that maybe that entire save file was somehow unusable, but that does thankfully not seem to be the case. Still really weird and a bit concerning. But, well, what can you do? Let's do this first. Right. Well, I mean, obviously we go to Naples because we need to do something. Yeah, crew member did die. I don't know, maybe on the first trip it always happens. On the first action you take here. In Naples. Even by night, the port of Naples is alive with shouts and laughter and work songs, the roar of engines. Brick warehouses loom over the moon-dazzled bay. By day, you try to stay below decks. The sun hits like a hammer, and the wind always seems to come straight from the struggling sewers of the slums. That is a slightly different description than we got last time. Right? Yeah, I mean, it's nighttime now. I think it wasn't last time. Interesting. Buy a train ticket to Vienna. I mean, that is interesting. 60% chance of success. I mean, this better be very profitable, or else, obviously, this investment is not worth it at all. I mean, what does this cost us in surface currency? Surface prices. That's 150 for fuel, and supplies are... Oh, wait, supplies are cheaper. Oh. Food grows freely under the sky. That makes sense. Okay, so that's only 160 total. Plus potentially crew members dying. I mean, I gotta... Oh, you were unlucky. I still gained 200, so I made... Yeah, a bit of a profit in money, but I lost 2 crew for that. Gained some fragments. Okay. Storms and desertations. A half day out of Sicily. A squall drives you almost onto the rocks. You're not weather-wise here above. Late fees eat up half your fee... And what? Late fees eat up half your fee, and the roll call is short. Did the missing sailors slip ashore, or did the sun wither them? Well, either way, that's not ideal. Yeah, I mean, especially the crew. That's yeah. When I take into account having to replace them later, obviously that's pretty much a loss, isn't it? Yeah, depending on how cheaply I can rehire them. But if I have to go for the 30 Echoes option again, then it's barely worth it. Plus, of course, it limits what else I can do on the surface. So, well, let's try not loading... Oh. No, okay, let's not try loading the save file, the save game I made here. That might have just broken something. Let's see if just reloading to back before I ever went to the surface works normally. Because, I mean, it really should. I really hope it does. Go. Continue. Nope, it breaks again. Why? If I have to literally restart the game every single time, that is... I mean, I'm still gonna do it, I suppose. Because I want to explore the various options. I mean, I could just suffer the consequences, I suppose. And the thing is, I am going to suffer consequences. I'm gonna lose people. And I might not make much of a profit in the end, I suppose. But I'd like to just explore the options and see what is even possible to do. This is obviously making that extremely tedious and painful. And well, I can only assume that, well, obviously this is not intentional. It's a strange bug to happen, though. Surely this must have... I can't be the first person to have this happen, right? I mean, surely more people play this game with saves and reloads, because it's just an option the game offers. So, yeah, that's a strange one. You'd think that this would have been caught earlier, but because it seems kind of major. Well, long story short, I guess I'm going to maybe try a few more things. Actually, well, I mean, I can always reload. I could, just for the sake of experimentation, load number 14, sail all the way down here, and see if it breaks again. That would be interesting. I'm gonna guess that it probably does, though. And it's definitely gonna take longer than just restarting the game. The problem is, of course, with restarting the game, means that I also have to restart, or, you know, do a new recording every single time, and then piece those together into a video afterwards. So that's just awkward and extra work that I'd like to avoid if I could. But mostly it's just gonna take time. Anyway, I'll figure something out, I guess. Third time's the charm. Now, unfortunately, it turns out that it seems like restarting the game is the only option. I also didn't find any other reports about the same bug in the Steam discussions, which is really surprising to me, but okay. I don't know, maybe it's just something about my PC, my copy of the game, I guess, that's causing this to happen to only me, or I don't know. Maybe discussions aren't as active as I assumed. Although, actually, there are a bunch of pretty recent entries, so I don't know. Either way, let's just try not to have to reload a bunch, I guess, and that would solve the problem. I also did try to load the earlier save file and sail all the way down to the canal, actually. And, yeah, same thing. Just wouldn't load. But as soon as I restart the game, it just works normally. So, yeah, that's just how it is. So we get our mirror cache box filled, and we go to Naples, and we lose a crew member. And it's night again. Okay. Share news from below. I mean, did I not do this? No, I didn't, because it might cost me a crew member. Let's try this one first. Still 60% chance of success. Come on. Really? Lost 3 crews. Well, crew members. 10 fuel and 2 supplies. I think that's the same as before. 50 fragments might also be the same. 200 echoes. Can I just do it again? I can't. Well, I could. If I could. I need more fuel. You know what? I mean, this is just for science, basically. Well, is it though? I mean, no, I guess I already know that I can just keep doing this, I suppose. Same chances too. I guess I just want to see how much better it is if you actually succeed, right? That's the thing to find out. So we buy stuff. We did not lose a crew member. I guess you still need to have at least one crew member to be allowed to even go shopping for some reason. I don't know. Maybe there's a small chance to lose somebody, even when you do something so simple and not very time-consuming. Anyway, can do this again. Unlucky again. Lost 2 more crew. Well, purchase 10 fuel. Too bad you can't just hire people from the surface as crew members, which presumably would at least not be automatically dying in the Untersee. But oh well. You were fortunate! Yay! Still lost 3 crew though. Okay, so that's just gonna happen. That is nuts. Of course it is a lot more profitable, but that being said, I mean, it's still gonna cost me a lot. At least I could theoretically do this a couple of times and still make a profit. And I will have to replace my fuel and supplies, but I can only do it so much before I'm just out of crew. I mean, while I'm just in... well, I mean, if restarting requires me to literally restart the entire game every single time, I should just try to explore as many options as I can before... I only have 1 crew member left. That's rough. That's going to make the return trip to London super slow as well. Well, anyway, yeah, I should try to experiment as much as I possibly can, just to, you know, learn what I can do. Maybe there are more profitable things to do than carrying cargoes. I mean, I've lost as few as only 2 crew members on one of these unsuccessful ones, so I can only assume that there's a chance to lose maybe only 1 person, or maybe no one if you get lucky. I don't know, maybe you always lose at least 1 person, but even then, that would make it, you know, this a lot more profitable, possibly. Anyway, let's share news from below. Did not lose anyone. Okay. Intriguing snippet. Not sure if I can turn another one of these into the Scholar, but it's something. Also, I gained fuel for that. I didn't lose any supplies. Okay, disbelief and fascination. A silent empress in a shuttered palace. Robed merchant princess in a spired bazaar. Serpents hiding in mirrors. No one believes a word, but you get a lot of dinner invitations and a number of gifts. Okay. I see. Dinner invitations, so we at least break even in terms of supplies. And fuel for gifts. Your stories are serialized in the worst kind of magazine. A well-wisher sends you coal. Oh, okay, that's the fuel. Thanks, I guess. Spend time ashore. I mean, might as well, right? Lost 1 crew. New total, 0. But, I mean, isn't that bad? I mean, obviously it's bad, but... can we even continue playing with no crew at all? Hot nights and echoing cathedrals. Naples is hotter, louder, livelier, tastier, sandier, windier, foreigner than London. After a day, your crew adore the place. Well, my 1 crew member. And 3 officers, I guess. After a week, you imagine they loathe it. Well... the ship is empty. Where are you? All of you. Unlocked with no crew. Yeah, that's the only option I have at this point. Scorched by the sun, deserted or dead, gone into the crowd, slumped over the rail, your neath-adapted life, cindered by the sun, drowned, gone. Oh, okay. And that's just death, I see. So you run out of crew on the surface, you're just lost. Even though you technically have enough money to, you know, hire someone who's desperate enough. I mean, obviously people do come to the Untersee, right? Or to the Neath, I suppose, is what that entire subterranean world is called. So technically it should be possible to find people who are willing to go there, especially when they're also getting paid. But, well, that would make things too easy, I guess. Lost with all hands. Well, I mean, I'm gonna load the game, this time without having loaded a possibly corrupted save file I made on the Surface. And we'll see if that makes any kind of difference. Alright, I suppose I didn't get the port report. I did get the other thing. I did do the other thing that gave me another move in the great game, because I got lucky there. I saved with that. Yeah, just I left this uncollected, the port report uncollected, just in case it makes any kind of difference, but it didn't. So, well, drill to the surface, fingers crossed, and it breaks again. Yep, as expected. That's a shame. Also, well, I mean, there are more things to do. Obviously, a trip to Vienna is one thing I absolutely have to try. And then I'll just, well, let's get that out of the way first, see if there are any more branching options from that. And, yeah, then we'll see. Interestingly, spending time in Naples didn't seem to do anything for me, except lose me another crew member. That was weird. Maybe I'll try that one again to see if it always, if there is not a chance for something good to happen. So obviously, if not, that's, you know, maybe it reduces terror if we weren't already at 0. Because, you know, it was, from the description, it sounded like everyone was having an absolute blast. A sunblast, I suppose. Anyway. Here we go, reloading or restarting again. And one thing that has occurred to me is that I might try, next time I have to reload, or, well, next time I reload, I will just stop recording and see if maybe somehow having the recording software running interferes with this event loading. I mean, it isn't the first time around, so it probably won't make a difference, but maybe, just maybe, I at least won't have to physically restart the game. Anyway, Vienna. Let's go. The rattle of the rails. Rome, Florence, Venice. The sleeping countryside curls around you under the night sky, so like and so unlike the Neath. At Udine, things go wrong. Udine? I don't know. And you cut through Slovenia. Vienna, the station alive with soot and shouting. The station officials with their whistles and their official brass buttons. You've moved to a new area. Vienna, revolution in the air. It cost us 10 echoes, but we did not lose anyone. That's good. Okay. This is a different place. The capital of the dual monarchy has seen better days. The palaces still glitter, but the mood is uneasy. Every third wall seems daubed with graffiti, only rarely in German. Unity or death, and remember London, and the liberation of night. Radical elements have taken to smashing the gas lamps with flung stones. At least that means it's decently dark at night. Establish a business relationship. The proud and glittering Café Festel has long been a center of intellectual life, but its coffee has deteriorated in quality. Offer a sample of the melancholic to the melancholic proprietor, if we had these dark drop coffee beans, right? Let's see. Psst, friend, strike a blow for freedom, will you? A fidgety agitator beseeches you to take supplies below to London for the cause of revolution. Okay, I could just do this. Take supplies below to London for the cause of revolution. Report the fidgeting agitator to the authorities. Interesting. His idealism burns worryingly bright. Besides, you might turn a profit from informing on him. Supremacy of the anarchists no more than 6. Okay. Asked a bureau friend whether you had met before long ago. In Frost Found, you uncovered certain memories. Were they yours? Frost Found. What? Definitely not been there. Letters of the name which burns? 7. What? Okay. So we could gain favors with this gentleman of the bureau by reporting on the agitator. Or we could side with the agitator. Well, screw ratting out on these people. I'm sure their cause is just. Let's go. Esoteric glassware. Our sisters and brothers below are performing experiments in light for, you know, the liberation. The agitator clasps your shoulder. These are hard to find underneath. So hard. You'll be advancing our cause by months. Please, for freedom from all tyrants. An occurrence that favors the Calendar Council quality is now 1. You have 1. Supplies for the work. Supplies for the work. Lenses, tinctures, candles, flammable oils. Now and then, bones. And we can still report them. Well, I was kind of expecting more to happen here, but I guess not. I mean, yeah, no, I'm not going to do that. Back to Naples, the Midnight Express. The 8 o'clock train is less crowded, but dangerously exposed to sunlight. Besides, you have your return ticket. Okay, so that's interesting that the return is always guaranteed to not kill a crew member, I guess. The hum of the rails, fall asleep in a carriage with 2 gossiping bankers, wake with your head on a snoring soldier's shoulder. Fortunately, he doesn't seem to have noticed. Okay. Back to Naples. So only Naples and Vienna, huh? Well, let's share news from below. Okay. Gained 1 supplies, okay. And the snippet and the fuel. So slightly better than last time. That's nice. So far we still have 9 crew members. We only lost the 1 mandatory one, I suppose. But I mean, okay, so that was a lot less to do on the surface, ultimately, than I expected. But there is a chance for profit here. I guess I'll just do this and hope to get lucky. And if I don't, or if I get particularly unlucky, I mean, 60% chance of success, right? You'd think this would go my way more often. And then we, of course, got unlucky 3 times in a row. I mean, it's still only 60-40. So, you know, a decent chance of failure, but still, I was particularly unlucky for sure. Well, let's just go. Unlucky. 200 echoes, 3 crew lost. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to take that kind of loss. I mean, I can do this at least twice more. Well, not at least. Actually, up to twice more before I run out of crew members. I will need to purchase fuel, of course. I guess if I can do it a total of 3 times, assuming I only lose 2 people on one of those runs, I guess, so I'm at least left with 1 person to limp back to London. If I'm successful on 2 of those, I guess it's still a net profit. Of course, ideally I'd be successful 3 times. And I guess I might be willing to keep trying until I get that lucky. Even if it means restarting the game every time, but, you know, I might just do that. It doesn't take that long, and if I don't record in the meantime, you know, record every one of those attempts, it's not going to be that many video snippets to piece together in the end. So, yeah, let's just see. I mean, I don't know. Am I willing to take even 1 failure? Well, here we were fortunate, lost only 2 crew. Gonna have to restore the fuel. Still have enough supplies. And we were unlucky again. So that's 2 out of 3 failures again. It's just very unfortunate. That leaves us with 2. Which means I could technically try again. But I mean, so far I've always lost at least 2. So yeah, that's just... I mean, if I get super lucky, I might have 4 successful trips, right? Leaving me with 1 crew member, which is technically all I need. Assuming they don't die on the way back to Avernus. Let's see. Okay, didn't lose anyone this time around, so it's possible. Well, I mean, I came here to hopefully make some profit, and so I guess that's what I'm gonna do. I mean, I'm gonna keep trying until I do. And I suppose I might as well end the episode here, because I don't know if I'm gonna feel like like playing or recording much once I'm done with this. This is definitely gonna take a while, and gonna be a little bit annoying. So yeah, I guess we've seen what the Surface is all about. I mean, we haven't fully explored whatever the revolutionary or counter-revolutionary storyline in Vienna is all about. But we do have these. Yeah, I guess I will make sure to pick up those supplies every time. I'm gonna stick with that decision at least. Or should I try the other one? You know what? Just for the sake. Okay, I lost another person on the way to Naples. Whoops. Didn't lose anyone on the way to Vienna this time. Well, just like first time actually. Just to see what happens. Although this might be different now that we've first accepted their mission. But let's report them. Or his? Yeah. His idealism burns borderingly bright. Besides, he might turn a profit. Let's see if we do. A dinner with a gentleman from the bureau. A fierce old fellow listens intently to your account and dispatches agents to arrest the agitator. We are grateful, he says. I shall not insult you by offering you payment. No, that would be totally fine. I assure you. But I must invite you to dine with me before you leave. No payment? But the dinner conversation is rich with valuable information. Perhaps the old fellow is using you as a pawn in some scheme of his own. He surely is. No matter, the Admiralty would love to hear this. Interesting. Again, another move in the great game. Yeah, I'm no longer favored by the Calendar Council. Makes sense. Strategic information. Oh. Hunger has gone? I wasn't hungry. Was I? Maybe I was because... Oh, okay, maybe I was because I was at 0 supplies there. Fair enough. Gained 1 supply... No? No, I had 1 supply left, so I guess I couldn't have been hungry. You no longer have any of the supplies for the work. Okay, so I guess we turned those in as well. Which makes sense. I mean, we gain more immediately, of course. Moves in the Great Game are definitely required for a couple of things. Strategic information, yeah. The Admiralty does want these, I guess. But of course, we're also, doing a morally questionable thing. I mean, technically we're doing the right thing according to law, but, I mean, it's, Oh? Oh, interesting. If we had not used up our recent news, we could now do this. Now, I want to check this out. I want to see what this leads to. Just for curiosity. Unfortunately, that means reloading. Oh, God. I mean, I'm gonna reload anyway, but I was gonna end the episode, so... I don't know, maybe I'll explore this on one of my many attempts that are definitely gonna fail. And just report back what I find here. What this leads to. If it leads to anything. Or, I don't know, maybe not. We'll see. We'll see. For now, I'll just end this video, which, was overshadowed by a technical problem, unfortunately. Also, the Surface, well, apart from technically, potentially being profitable, wasn't really, I don't know, didn't amount to as much as I hoped for. I somehow had made this, build up this expectation for this to be some kind of major deal, but then it kind of isn't. It's very costly, I suppose. I mean, you need a lot of supplies to begin with, which I suppose I need to also consider when it comes to, how much money I ultimately make. It's just, well, either way, it's not going to be as much as I would have hoped for. And yeah, I don't know. I guess we do have our filled mirror catch box. That's definitely something that might just, well, we'll see. I guess I'll bring that back to the Isle of Cats and see if someone there is going to be interested in it. I want to say that there was something to do with the filled mirror catch box. I mean, it is where we got it in the first place, so that would make sense. And maybe we'll get paid well there, or gained something good in return at least. So that is definitely something, another factor that we're definitely going to walk away with. Yeah, anyway, enough rambling. I will, try a couple more times, see how profitable I can make this run, and possibly somehow make my way all the way back to London if I can. And yeah, then we'll resume from there next time, and I guess I'll come up with something, I suppose. Well, okay, yeah, enough rambling. There are a couple of things I still have to do, of course. I mean, numerous things, countless things, but some things that I might want to start out with. For the time being, I thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and I shall see you real soon. Bye-bye.